Hello, survivors! Today in Soulstone Survivors, we are playing on the Barbarian because we have a gorgeous build for all of you. You can use this build for whatever you want. As long as you have 10 out of 10 runic power, you will be sorted because we are running multicast mastery, singular focus, skill inclination swing, and Misfortune's Embrace. Misfortune's Embrace is the 20% chance to apply a random powerful effect, and that's going to make all those really fast, hard-hitting skills hit even harder. Now, the reason we're going swing inclination is because we are actually running, we are going to run, Blade Storm. Now we are going to run 6 of them or 5 of them and a Scent of Blood. That all just depends on whether or not we actually get the Scent of Blood. And this works perfectly on any of the characters that have Blade Storm. You just need to run the skill inclination swing. However, the Scent of Blood is the Barbarian's unique skill, so you won't find it on any of the other characters with these runes. The other thing though is that you don't actually need Scent of Blood. It's just there for the extra cooldown reduction, which just makes, it tips this build over the edge. So we're going to do the first, 6 minutes or so showing you how we get the build done and dusted, what I do to get everything up and running, and what to banish for your skills as well, just to get the best damage possible for everything. So that's what we're planning on doing, and then what we're going to do is show you the last Overlord cycle that we got to with this build. So sit back, relax, enjoy the video, and also remember that I do other games as well, like a God of Weapons. I got a couple on Time Survivors as well recently, so I'll drop them down in the description below if you've missed them on YouTube this week, just in case you are interested in other roguelites, and or you have been playing God of Weapons and you're interested in hard difficulty runs as well. Alright, we want a slow over there. There isn't any Blade Storm or any of the other ones. There's Scent of Blood, so that is perfect. We'll grab one of those. We're going to grab the Powerful Strike. We can get a cast frequency for there, and here is our first Blade Storm. So this is looking good already. We do not want to pick up any of these. These are what we are going to be banishing. Everything that says Blade Storm on it, the cast frequency, the area of effect, the damage, all of them are going to get removed and replaced for all the swing upgrades. The only ones we do keep is the Scent of Blood, and that's going to help us. We even land up keeping Leviathan. We do take them, but we're looking for the bigger Leviathans. We're going to grab a second Scent of Blood here just because we want to fill up the slots, just so that we are able to get Blade Storm more often and not any other skills, because again, we don't really want those other effects like these ones over there. But you can see, there we go, multicast for Blade Storm. We are going to banish it. We do get the potency upgrade for this Scent of Blood, so we grab that. We're going to banish the damage for Blade Storm. And the reason we do this, ladies and gentlemen, is because we are looking to get the most amount of those negative effect. What is the words we're looking for? Not negative effects, those rare upgrades to swing. And the best chance to get those is to actually remove everything else for Blade Storm from the pool, so that there are less uncommon, rare, and epic upgrades for Blade Storm. And because we're only playing with Blade Storm and Scent of Blood, the chances of us getting those higher swing only type of upgrades is much higher. So that's the reason why we do it. There are obviously other ways to play this build with runes, but because I like to get all the Blade Storms and things as quickly as possible, I like to go with it this way. You can obviously go and grab yourself something else. You don't need to necessarily go a swing inclination, but you do need the singular focus, so you're only really saving 1 point over here. So I just like going for this upgrade over there. And you can see I am skipping all of these ones that don't affect the level 4 upgrade, and we are skipping all the potencies and upgrades for the Bloodlust, because we are going to remove it as soon as possible. But these are the upgrades we are looking for. The damage increases to swing, movement speed's going to be great, we want more life, and we're just waiting for that final Blade Storm, or 2 Blade Storms for us to get done and dusted over there and start getting all the necessary upgrades. What else is nice is because it's Blade Storm and because you are swinging in a circle, I mean, we look like a Beyblade. Let's not forget that as well. It's really, really cool. Okay, cast frequency, still no more Blade Storm. This is going wonderfully. Come on, game. Usually it's a lot easier to hit all the Blade Storms than this. We also need a lot of crits because we do want Brutal Strike to show up a lot more. And we also want Exposed Weakness for the more bleed stacks as well as negative effect stacks. So those are what we're looking for. Those are going to make us really, really strong. And obviously the Brutal Strikes is there for the bleed so that our Scent of Blood makes our cooldowns a lot less. I mean, you don't even need to have 5 Blade Storms. Ooh. Oh man, if only. That's in some world that would be quite cool. We can grab a Leviathan now. We're just going to grab some more movement speed to kind of offset it. And we will grab one of every single negative effect. It does just help pile on that damage. It also helps with like the Misfortune's Embrace to have more negative effects going forward from there. You don't really need them though, because you do have the Misfortune's Embrace dealing a lot of damage or negative effects. But why not grab them all? They're there anyway, and it's not like we had an upgrade that was necessary in that pool of upgrades. But you can see it's very difficult to see around us right now. We do need to work on a lot more area of effect. And luckily we are going to get quite a few swing upgrades that are going to give us all of those upgrades as well. So we should be a-okay going forward. But it does look like we will have to push this into a further Overlord cycle. Oh, no, never mind. There's one of the Blade Storms. That is fantastic. Grab a Doom. We don't have one yet, so that's fantastic as well. More multicast. And again, we're not going to be grabbing any of the upgrades for that certain Scent of Blood. So we just do that. Alright, once we get one more Blade Storm, we will be able to remove that Scent of Blood, which is going to be fine. You can run 2 of them. The only problem is then you do have to start looking at removing some of the upgrades to it, because you are going to land up upgrading both of them separately, which doesn't work very, very well. You want to upgrade them to like as one single spell, as a swing upgrade, as opposed to just separate upgrades. So that's why, see over here, we want the swing upgrades, and then we just got area of effect. It also does make all the Blade Storms the same size. It makes everything the same size, and it's just more consistent, especially visually. I mean, look how cool this looks. We look like the most amazing Beyblade in the entire game. So this is just completely insane. Alright, we're going to pick up some magnetism. I'm sure we picked up a Desperado already, but we never. And then we're going to grab the reduced all damage. That's going to be perfectly fine. And this build works so well with the Barbarian's Ascension as well, because you're absolutely killing so much around you that you can eventually keep your Ascension going for an insane amount of time. Look at that. It actually turns out that the Fallen King is using Blade Storm as well, but our Blade Storm is better than his, so eat that, sucker. Alright, so there we go, both of them are dead, and we're still making some really good time. Not the best of time, but a decent amount. We don't need duration. We want it to stay the same amount of time. What's going to happen is we do actually want it to be quite a low duration, because you do want to have as many of them running as possible. But there we go. We got our final Blade Storm, and now we are going to just lock our skills so we don't see any more active skills. And what I meant with the Scent of Blood duration is that we don't want duration, because sometimes you can have, let's say, 1,000 bleed stacks on an enemy, but you're sitting there waiting for Scent of Blood to activate again. So you don't really need the duration. It's going to be reapplying itself over and over again eventually with the amount of cast frequency we'll end up getting, hopefully. So it doesn't really matter getting duration. It doesn't affect it in any positive way. for what we're doing. I think the only time you really need duration is if you have an unreliable way of applying bleed, which we won't have as soon as we get brutal strikes. Also, we do apply a lot of bleed already because we do have Misfortune's Embrace, so we don't really have to worry about the bleed application. It's just not as consistent as it would be if we did have brutal strikes. Alright, so one last boss fight left. You can see we're in a fantastic Beyblade spot, but we are going to obviously just skip everything from the end. I've shown you guys how we do this, so we can actually lock the potency over there. Sorry, forgot to skip the active skills. More crit chance. Yeah, we can go with more crit, why not? We can go and lock that again. That's going to give us even more. And we do want the potencies as well. Normally you could like lock a lot more, you know, better skills and all that, but I think cast frequency is very, very important. It is quite difficult to get it, otherwise you're not going to find a cast frequency for swing. So getting the recklessness, the big rare and epic upgrades over there are very, very important, especially for like the upgrades for Scent of Blood, because getting Scent of Blood to a lower level makes it a lot stronger there as well. Now we just need more area of effect, so we don't really have to move around so much, and that things die a lot quicker. But you can see we're already in such a comfortable space. We're literally just walking around the bosses, and they die pretty quickly. As long as we don't waste any lives on the first level, or the first you know, cycle, we should be in a very, very good spot. But you can see we do need a lot more area of effect, because that's going to make it so that we don't have to move around so much. The bosses will instantly just die. So we're going to grab potency. There's more area of effect. Here is our exposed weakness. More cast frequency on the Scent of Blood. We're already down to 12 seconds. And into the Overlord portal we go. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to keep going. And then when I get to about Overlord 5 or 6, I will put the camera back on, or the video back on. And I'll see you guys there. So here's some video editing magic. We are back now with the magic of editing again, but you can see we are on cycle, the end of cycle 4. We are just going to keep playing with the cycles. The cycles are taking a couple of minutes now, so it doesn't really help if I do like cycle 5 and a dull, whatever the case may be. But I do want to just show you a couple of things. We did pick up an exposed weakness. We do have 3 hypothermias, but what's important is these over here. We've got a lot of the epic upgrades for damage, for multicast. There's a couple of good ones over there as well for area of effect as well. And we do pick up quite a lot of the magnetic upgrades as well. We did find brutal strikes for us in the long run. We haven't found any legendary upgrades though, which is quite interesting, but I don't think we will, because they normally affect the skill themselves, and I don't believe there is a legendary upgrade for Scent of Blood itself. And because we banished all the upgrades for Blade Storm itself, we won't be able to see them for anything else. So that's why it's very weird. I don't know, maybe we just really unlucky. But you can see now on the cycle 5 just how quickly we completely destroy the bosses. There is something weird going on. Every so often there's like a split second where Blade Storm stops working completely. So I don't know what's going on with that, but there is that little bit of time where it stops dealing damage. Like over there you could see we weren't doing anything to the bosses, and then the next second we absolutely destroy any boss that looks at us. So it's just really weird and really interesting to know. It's probably got something to do with Scent of Blood and the fact that it's not proccing properly because of the time that passes between the bosses. But that is the entirety of you know, cycle 5 done and dusted. We killed all of the bosses in a whole minute and 34 seconds. You know, if we talk about speed running, that's exactly what we do. And then also stat wise, I just want to show you. So we're going to grab a lot of the life, more cast frequency, because we are looking for a lot of that. Potency upgrades over here. Out of everything over here, I think the potency is probably, actually damage is probably more important. Area of effect doesn't really matter. Over here, if we had a choice between, you know, Leviathan, and we had 2 other horrible ones, we would pick up the Leviathan because we want the cast frequency, we're going to go with that. We're going to grab some block. The only Leviathans I do pick up are going to be those 30% rare ones. And then we can kind of get the movement speed back on its own through time. But, you know, this is all thanks to the Misfortune's Embrace. Otherwise, you most definitely aren't able to do this the way that we are. You can see we just completely destroy all the bosses as they spawn, done and dusted. So it's going to be interesting to see how far this can go. We still have our Scent of Blood up and running. And as long as Scent of Blood is up and running, we are able to just like destroy the bosses in seconds. So we do have to just try and stay a little bit safe. But as you can see, within 30 seconds, we have already finished the next cycle. So just a completely bonkers little upgrade in case you guys need to farm, you know, soul stones and things like that. Right now, I think we're at a point where it doesn't even matter what upgrades we get. Ooh, that was a legendary, our first one of the run. We can look for a lot of the cast frequency. Magnetics are quite important here as well, because they are going to allow you to keep up with that XP curve if you do like to keep leveling like 20-30 times every time you go through a portal. So just something I do want to show you, we're on 290% crit chance. That means we are multi-critting at least twice every single hit, which is really, really good. As soon as we get to the 300%, we will be multi-critting even more, and we're on 600% cast the damage as well. So really, really nice stuff over there. I really got to stop getting hits over there, but as soon as we get the Scent of Blood up and running, we are able to just stand still and, you know, not worry about dying to the bosses. So very, very good over there as well. I do want the cast frequency as much as possible as well, but it looks like we might have, you know, been in a better spot if we kept the duration up for the Scent of Blood, because now's the part where we at that weird stage and we did actually get hits over there, which is very unfortunate, and it does cost us one of our lives. So that's the weird part of the skill. I don't know what happens there, but every so often when Scent of Blood goes down, everything just goes weird, and it brings us to that kind of stage. But again, here we go into Overlord 8. Again, another 20 levels. We're just going to grab whatever. It doesn't really matter at this stage if we're going to land up taking something. You know, you've seen how we're getting hit there, so we will probably land up dying very soon anyway. I think on the next level, if we get hit once, we're going to die. But you can see we already picked up 60 of each of the crystals, and that's just going higher and higher and higher. Alright, so the only other build that does this really nicely is Light Beam and the Bunnies. I haven't really found anything that gets you, although the other one that we did with the Barbarian as well, but that build is a lot of effort to get up and running. It is very difficult to get it to the point where it does the same amount of damage as this does. So this is definitely one of those builds that will replace that. You can see we're taking so much damage, left on 7 life over here, and we lose our life over there. It's either kill or be killed, and in this case we were up at that part where the Blade Storm goes all wonky and doesn't hit again for those couple of seconds, and therefore we'll end up dying because we can't kill them fast enough. So very weird. Try and stay out of the range of the bosses, and bam, we couldn't. That was just insane. But there we go. We were only on 9.7 trillion damage for our Blade Storm. We can have a look at the death recap, and not the death recap, the damage upgrade. Hit nearly 1 million times, which is really funny. And then if we got to like Overlord 9 or 10, it would move into the quadrillion damages. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.